squat, bench, deadlift, toe. My gym bro used to tell me stories of the old days, a time of peace when the record holder kept balance between the squat bros, bench specialists, deadlift homies, and total beasts. But all changed when the sumo boys attacked. Only the record holder, master of all four disciplines, only he could stop the ruthless sumo boys. But when the world needed him most, he vanished. A couple years have passed and the broccoli heads are nearing victory in the war. 2 years ago, Dan Bell and Peter Petras pushed the all-time total record to help fight against the sumo children, leaving the gap between the regular lifters and the monsters wide. Some people believe the new record holder is a natty forever stuck in the IPF, and that hope is lost for the sport. But I haven't lost hope. I still believe that somehow a new record holder will arrive and save the sport.
I think it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
What's up, little homies? We got bench day going on right now. This is the 5x2 banded bench. We got the blue bands. We actually have a scale, a crane scale at the gym so that we can actually record the band tension that's going on. Because if you don't have any sort of way of telling how much band tension you have, you might as well just say it's 1,000,000 pounds like all the multiply lifters say. But we got 365 pounds straight weight on the bar, and then the bands together add up to about 150 pounds worth of band tension. So lockout's about 515 pounds, not too heavy of a lockout, but it puts us in a very good spot in order to do some good long pause work with no band tension. We work up, or we kind of drop down to 485 pounds without the band tension doing long pauses. But the weird thing about this bench is that my weak point, the transitionary point between the bottom of the bench press and the top of the bench press, kind of like that gray area where it's like the middle where most people fail, where I failed all my benches in competition, it didn't feel weak anymore. So the band tension allowed me to learn how to push through that weak area and develop it into a stronger area. And it also enhanced my muscles and ligaments at that area, making them stronger and allowing them to deal with more abuse. So I'm stronger in the long run. And we'll be healthier because, let's be honest, bench is too easy. We have a bit of a deload squat session going on, only working up to 345 pounds for 3 sets of 6. It's a heavily reduced amount of volume going on, so we're able to kind of fine-tune the form work that we've been working on. We've been working on foot pressure and how to appropriately apply that foot pressure, where that foot pressure is in the back third of the squat shoe, as well as kind of allow us to rehabilitate the injuries, not quite injuries, but we got a couple tweaks going on. We have a lat tweak, we have an oblique tweak, we have a QL tweak, and I've had a couple of quad knee area tweaks in the past 9 months that I've been dealing with, and appropriating the foot pressure into the back third of the squat has alleviated a lot of that pain from the knee and quad tweaks going on there. So all that we have left to rehabilitate is the oblique, QL, and lat. So backing off on squats this week allows us to kind of allow those to heal up, as well as the adductor tweak that we suffered 2 weeks ago. So we're kind of just pushing through and letting our body rehabilitate from those injuries. Deadlifts this week has been the golden child, the golden sample of what our progress is looking like. My deadlift has not been the most consistent in the past. I've had troubles with grip strength. I've had troubles with unnatural ramping going on, where I naturally want to ramp a deadlift once it gets to my knee. And last week someone mentioned that I need to stop doing that. So I actually hit up my coach, Joe Sullivan, and we developed a plan, a specific singular cue to help reduce that kind of forward knee motion that occurs naturally once we get to the knee. And what's going on is the body is tending towards the stronger muscle groups, and that would be my quads. I have a pretty decent squat, and so my quads are stronger than my glutes, my hamstrings, and any other of the movers going on in the deadlift. So once I get to the knee where the quads can dominate the rest of everything that's going on, then I'm able to actually switch over to the quads and finish the lift that way. However, the bar is not in a good spot for that to happen. The knees come forward, and honestly, sometimes you can get red lit for just having that natural forward knee motion. Like if you go back and rewatch the American Pro, my first deadlift, while Garrett Fear was super grumpy with how they've been judging the deadlifts, he said that my deadlifts shouldn't have passed because they were ramped. And I mean, there's two sides to that coin, because you've got that, there's the gray area in the rule book of intentional ramping going on and unintentional. And it was clearly unintentional, wasn't aimed to aid myself in the actual deadlift, but we developed a cue. Joe said that I need to squeeze my quads once I get to the knees, kind of have a cue going on for a specific muscle group once I actually get to a point. And I was playing around with that cue, and I found that if I squeeze my glutes once I hit the knee, my quads also activate too. So the cue that we developed is squeeze the glutes once you hit the knee. So you can see my deadlift, my lockout is actually snappier than it's ever been because of this new cue. You notice once it gets to the knee, it just snaps and it's locked out pretty easily. So deadlifts were the best lift of this week.